Parlay pal, sending pics like it's draft day. Maybe we'll give a little lesson like a half day. Now watch us make the line move, what the graphs say. We've been on the grind, making mad plays. See, we like the Fab Five, but we don't take timeouts. Watch us change the ball game and take the baseline out. Life's a party, yeah, we know it, but it's game time now. Our profits rocket to the moon and we on space time now. You see, we trying to beat the bookies like we're Tyson. Listen to the pod, we're trying to bring the people right in. Show them how to do it, we gon' talk and get you through it. We the bestest on the pod and guarantee we gon' prove it. Parlay pals, Parlay pals, Parlay pals.
Welcome back to Parlay Pals. You hear that intro, boys? Parlay Pals. We want to shout out our guy Justin Ford. You can find him on Twitter at @J4Breezy for the intro. It's super dope. It makes us unique. And if you haven't checked it out, it's in the beginning of this. So thank you for coming back. And you gotta have some balls to come back because we're only 2 in the parlay. We're actually 6 and 4 overall. So if you were to bet a unit per bet, you'd be up 2 units. So we're excited. We have a lot to get to today. 25. What are you laughing at?
It's not exactly true.
It's not true. If you bet 1 unit.
Every bet is minus 115.
Oh yeah,
up like just a little over.
Let's just make them think that.
Okay,
They think they'd be up 2 units.
Alright, that's fucked up.
Alright, so we have a lot of shit to get to. We have to recap and give our week 2 picks. So let's get into it. As I said, we went 3 and 2 last week. 6 and 4 overall, up 2 units, right guys?
Yes, sir. If you took Oregon money line, you'd be up 6 units.
Alright, so we're going to run through each game and then see what happened, what went wrong, go over it, and then we're going to give our week 2 picks. So, without further ado, the first game we lost. It was Minnesota minus 19.5. They played Miami, Ohio. The score was 31-26. They did not cover. And the main headline here is that Seanybrawny lied to us. Not only did he lie to us, but he lied to the Parlay Pal family. And Mike, how do you feel about that?
I looked him dead in the eye for that show, and I said, "Did you know their starting running back was out for the year?" He said, "Yes." Ryan backed him up.
Listen,
I didn't want to look bad. That's all.
You look terrible.
I do look bad.
You should have to apologize to the
Yeah,
camera.
listen, I am sincerely sorry for lying to you guys. It won't happen again.
I need you to say that again.
I need you to get up. I did up directly at the camera.
Alright, get up and walk towards it.
Yeah, get up and
You want
walk
me to get up and walk towards it?
Yeah, go straight in the camera.
And then, alright, right there's good.
I am sincerely sorry, and I will not ever do that again.
Alright.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for that apology. We do not forgive you.
No,
I don't. It's okay.
The people at home would rather have a good pick than for you to lie to lose your credibility for being prepared.
Lesson learned.
So instead of maybe going on the golf course hitting people with golf balls, you hit Joe. Instead of getting hammered in Seattle, you should maybe look at the injury report.
Lesson learned.
Chris, feelings on this? Seanybrawny not prepared last week, cost us a parlay.
It's because his excuse was, oh, well, I wasn't prepared because I was hungover. It was like 24 hours later. It's like, what were you doing the whole time? Like, I don't care. That, like, we all were. Like, what? I don't care. Do your research, make a good pick. And they weren't even close to covering, but they went by like 5.
Listen, they were up 21-3.
They almost lost the football game.
Yeah,
They were up 21-3 at half. Like, it was looking good at one point.
We didn't have a first half spread.
Chris was thinking about betting Miami, Ohio during the game.
He did.
Like Miami, Ohio was like plus 800 now.
Plus 1,100.
I was with him.
as well.
I was with him when he
So, hey, we accept your apology.
No, we don't.
Well, maybe someone out there might accept an apology. And we'll move on. You got prepared today. It's good to see you have some notes actually this week.
Are they correct?
They are correct.
So maybe Seanybrawny can get his credibility back and move to 2-1.
But if we're going to lose, we might as well lose early. That's the only positive.
There's no positive losing. We don't want to
I'm
lose.
trying for you.
It's okay.
He's only saying that because he lost 2.
Okay, which we'll get to eventually. But next we're going to touch on the Oregon game that we hit, plus 14. They went into Ohio State, won the game straight, 35-28. And if you listened to the show last week, Joe wanted a little sprinkle that money line. Joe, how'd that turn out?
Plus 500, right? Or plus 475, I think it was that for the game. You could have threw $50 on it, made a quick 235.
My brother texted me. He was like, "Did Joe sprinkle the money line?" I said, "Did Joe sprinkle the money line?" We don't just say shit up here and don't just follow through with it. We say shit and we most of us.
And keep in mind, plus 4,000 win the national championship. They're the 4th ranked team in the country. Plus 2,000 just to make it to the playoffs. So
I saw that they're ranked 4th in the country.
4th in the country.
What were they before last week?
12.
Oh, okay.
But Ohio State was 3. So
damn, that's a pretty big jump. Yeah. Well, if you go into Ohio State, so if you bet the money line, took Joey 2 times advice, you were pretty much up some good money. I actually took Oregon plus the 14. Didn't take the money line, but so stuff like that. So you follow Joey 2 times, win some big money, and you move on.
I put 5 units on Minnesota last week.
No, you did not. Back to the line. Why did you put 5 units on Minnesota?
I believe in Sean.
But you were mad for it. You knew he lied though.
Why not? And that's all the place to bet.
Wait.
Wait.
What's your units? $10.
We don't unit shame here. We don't unit shame.
No unit shaming.
There's no unit shaming on Parlay Pals. So wait, you knew that Sean lied that he knew that the running back was out for the game, and you continued to put 5 units on.
He said he did his research. Yeah, I thought if he's going to pick it, if he has confidence in it, I'm going to bet it.
Sean, write this down. You have a pen?
I don't have a pen. What am I writing
I
down?
want you to write down Mike's name and say, sorry, Mike, for losing 5 units.
Why do I have to write his name down? Why can't I say sorry, Mike, for losing?
Actually, go up to the camera and write it.
No.
You have to.
You lied to the people.
Do you want to make a week 3 pick this week?
I do.
Then go stand up and write down in front of the, stand up and write in front of the camera.
I almost couldn't afford my student loans this month.
Go up there. Say, sorry, Mike, for losing you 5 units and write
Sorry,
it down.
Mike, for.
Can you hurry up? We got a show to do.
I mean, for losing 5 units. Yeah.
4, you could have just wrote the letter 4.
Alright, I need
You
to
don't actually have to write it down.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Alright, so we're past that, I guess. Maybe probably not. Next one, the Chris Tran Man's game. He had Florida minus 29. They did not look good. They won the game 42-20. But Emory Jones is holding that team back, Chris.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, there's no. It's a fireable offense for Mullen at this point to not put Richardson in.
He's got a fat one.
I don't care.
Richardson is 3 for 3 for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he ran it for an 80-yard touchdown. He's the best college football player ever.
Also, I don't understand.
He
They
really
took
might
their
be.
foot off the gas in the second quarter. It looked like they were going to win that game by 80. And then all of a sudden, the second quarter, near the end, they just stopped. They just were punting in USF territory. On 4th and 2, the quarterback sucks. They wouldn't put Richardson in. It was a bad.
What's the thought process of just playing Emory Jones over? What did you say? I like what you said in the group chat about what Anthony Richardson should do at halftime.
He should go in there and say, I'm transferring if you don't play. He should be the first college, because you see pro athletes do it all the time, and be like, oh, trade me. He should go in there and say, play me or I'm out.
I agree.
I'm playing for some other school in 3 weeks if you don't play.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I'm the biggest Anthony Richard fan there is out there. Alright, so we lost that trend, man. And then the next 2 we won. Georgia, minus 26. They smoked UAB 56-7. This was our easiest bet of the week with the score. But here's the thing I want to ask you, Money Mike, is that it opened up at minus 29, right, or something, but the line continued to move down during the week. It moved to minus 26, moved to minus 24. Why was it going down?
I don't think people were sold on Georgia's offense, and maybe with JT Daniels being out, that factored in, but I honestly have no clue, because Georgia looked like grown men and UAB looked like second.
Yeah, you said you were actually starting to feel bad for you.
I did feel bad.
I can't believe people bet you.
I know, the whole week, it's every time it kept going down, it's am I just going to bet Georgia again? And
I know, that's what we got doing. It was we went down, we threw another 50, we threw another 100. It was what is going on with this line?
And finding all the people on Twitter where they were lock of the week, 3 units, UAB plus 22.5. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, Chris was sending me the group chat, and I was just going on Twitter and responding to everybody like, you're an idiot.
That's a good plug. So you can follow us on Twitter, at Parlay_Pals. You can check us out on YouTube. Go to Life's a Party Pod on YouTube, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see our page there, or search it in YouTube. Now that we got a little views, got a couple videos, you no longer have to do no spaces in Parlay Pals in YouTube. You can literally search Parlay space Pals and we'll come up. So we're excited for that. We're getting good views, good feedback. So if you keep coming back, like I said, you got some balls because we haven't hit yet, but I have faith that we're going to hit. Then lastly, anything on the Georgia game besides they embarrassed you?
Number 99 is the biggest man I've ever seen.
I like how you don't know his name. He's just number 99.
That was
research.
Was that on your notes? Mike had to get that in. He was.
I was talking to Chris
99.
about it yesterday. The dude is double the size of Team.
He has to be number 99. There's not another jersey that would fit. There's just not.
Do you guys
6'6", 350?
They still go by size of the player. The number.
Do you guys like the single digits coming back?
I hate it.
No.
I don't know who.
I like it.
Yeah,
you sound like Tom Brady, where he can't figure out who the linebacker.
100%. Yeah, that's me.
They
compare me to Tom Brady. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
I don't think.
I just Sterling Shepard caught a pass the other day, and he's running down the sideline. I'm like, who the hell is this? I was like, is this Tony?
Who's Al Iverson?
What?
Who's Al? He's number 3.
Oh yeah. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
I thought he said Al Harrison. I'm like, who is that?
All right. So then the last game was UNC minus 25.5. It was my pick, so obviously I won. I'm 2-0, only undefeated guy left.
No, yeah.
They won 59-17 to Georgia State. Though I will say UNC did not look good.
No.
They did not look good at all. It was more so that Georgia State sucks They ran a fake punt inside their own 20-yard line on 4th and 18.
Dude, they were down by a lot.
What kind of coaching? You're on your own 20-yard line. You're running a fake punt on 4th and 8, maybe 4th and 5, maybe 4th and 18. So you're running with the players.
Situational practice.
Well, that was the coach. I don't know if you guys saw, but he was like headbutting the players. That was
he ripped the dude's helmet off. Wasn't he like shot and he ripped the one kid's helmet off? And somebody was like, nah, he got a vendetta with number 7. Ain't no way, bro.
That's the kid's helmet. That's the Georgia State coach. So maybe he had a concussion. Was like a fake punt inside the 20, 4th and 18. Didn't work out, but UNC didn't look good. So like I said, we went 3-2, 6-4 overall. 2 units, right?
Up 2.
Up 2 units.
All right. Well, before we get into our week 3 picks, Sean, I need you to go up there and apologize one more time.
One more time?
To the people. Say, I apologize for not doing research. Sincerely.
I sincerely apologize for not doing research.
Okay, thank you. I think we can move on. As we say, Mike, turn the book.
Turn the page. Different week. Different week.
Turn the book.
Turn the page.
We're turning the book in for a new one.
We did turn the page last week. The whole book's got to go back.
As Bob Seger would say, turn the page.
All right, so as we continue to move along here in Parlay Pals of the Weeks, I'm going to flash the standings up. So we're keeping track of everybody's score. Because someone DM'd us or they tweeted us. They're like, why are you still live tweeting the game? The parlay is dead. Well, the answer to that question is that people take one loss of our bets. So we want to keep you active and we still bet our own bets. So that's why we still tweet and keep continuing the tweets out when Minnesota doesn't cover at 12 p.m. So flashing up the standings, as you can see, Tranman 1-1, Seanybrawny 1-1, Money Mike 1-1, Joey 2-time 1-1, and the leader, myself, 2-0. I'm gonna be honest, I did not see this coming. I did not see me going 2-0. I was not very good at this last year, but maybe the show, the production, I got a little chip on my shoulder. I'm feeling good.
Your motto last year was, "I'll be there when it matters." Now you're just there.
I'm just there
every week.
I matter every week. All right. But so I just flashed up the standings, check them out. So this way, once we get in like 8 weeks in, you can see like, oh, I'm 8-0. Bet a unit on my pick. So it's stuff like that you want to do.
And we're also competing against ourselves as well.
Right. So this is like a season-long competition on who's going to be the stand and who's going to suck and whatever. So here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for, our week 3 picks. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We always start with the losers, just to give them the upper hand and have a bigger pool to pick from. So we're starting with Trent. What's your pick for week 3? We got some good mojo this week. Like, we're feeling good. 2 back-to-back winning weeks, so we feel like we can put this thing together soon.
So so last week was rough. We're going back to the well. Cincy -4 against Indiana. Indiana's an overrated team. We saw it against Iowa week 1. They got smoked. Cincinnati didn't cover against an FCS team last week. It doesn't really matter. They were looking ahead to this game. It happens in college football. People say they don't look ahead. They do. -4, they're going to win this game by double digits. I think we were talking about it. Everyone's on it. It just seems easy. My only concern is, like, is it too good to be true? Do they know something I don't? But they should win this game handily.
So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, you
Chris loses, he goes back to Cincinnati. But I did see some articles where it's like, since he actually gets to play a decent team now.
Yeah.
So is that something to worry about?
Yeah. What?
Is that something to worry about?
Oh, not at all. They have, like, playoff aspirations. So they have 2 big games on their schedule out of conference. That's Notre Dame and Indiana. They got to take care of both of them when it starts here.
Nice. Anybody else? Anything on that game?
I mean, I individually bet it, so I love it. I love the pick.
Why do you love it?
I love it because of the same reasons that Chris said. Because like,
the running back's not out for the year.
The running back is not out for the year. Yes.
It just feels like a trap. I
It
mean,
does
it
definitely
should
feel like a trap.
win. Like, it opened at 3.5. It's already moved to 4. It should win like handily. Same thing. You could probably bet them -2 touchdowns.
Do you know what time that game is, Chris? Is that 12?
Yeah, it's a new. I believe it's a new game. It's early in the day.
You think it's just because people don't trust?
Like Group of 5 team?
Yeah,
I mean, it could be, but like I think we've seen, we had UCF a few years ago, we had Memphis, like these Group of 5 team, Houston before UCF, like they're knocking off these big teams when they get the chance.
It's not like since he's not good, it's the exact same team that took Clemson, or who they play in the bowl game? Georgia, down to the wire.
Yeah, they didn't lose
it's the exact same team. I mean, they got Ritter back, running backs, like everybody's still there. They didn't lose anybody. So
I know, just like 4 points.
Yeah,
Vegas
there's got to be
something,
something. Yeah, but
Is Indiana a tough place to play?
no,
I
not
think they have like a 6-point spread and knock off 2 points for being on.
Usually it's 3 on the road. Usually the team gets 3.
But I don't think anyone's scared going to Indiana. Like they don't really like they're not like when you think of Big Ten powerhouses to go and play at, you're not thinking of Indiana.
All right, so back to Cincinnati -4. Next, we're going to 1-1. Seanybrawny. This you better have the longest notes of all time for this.
I do have some pretty good notes.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm surprised it took till week 3 for someone to bet this team, but I'm going to go Bama, Florida over 59.5. My reasonings for that is Well, I just saw Florida's defense drop 20 points to USF. I always get USF and UCF mixed up because I know.
Big difference there.
Yeah, USF stinks. Florida gave up 20 points to them, and in the past 10 games that Florida and Alabama played, 7 out of the 10 have been hit the over. While the past game was 52-46, which Alabama almost single-handedly covered there. Let's see.
I like this pick. This is one. I bet 2 things this week. My pick, and I bet the over in Alabama, Florida. But the big question. I mean, it's going to be a consistent question on the show. Emory Jones, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson plays more. We'll hit the over easy.
I had some notes on this too. Here's what I think happens. I think quarter 1 they do start with Emory Jones, and they get crushed. And then I think eventually that Richardson comes in, and then Florida starts to score points, and because I think Alabama putting up 40 easily. I think that Florida just has to do its part and put up 20.
I think this game low scoring last year.
No, last year was 52-46.
No, it was one of the best college games ever or something.
One year, Dan Mullen kept it 24-21 or something like that, right?
Maybe, but it wasn't last year. Last year they had Trask and Pitts.
It was 50-something.
It was just going back and forth.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
The thing I'll say is that I agree with you, Sean, because I think game script could help Anthony Richardson tremendously.
Yeah.
Like if Bama goes up 21-0, Emory Jones is the worser, it's not even worse, but he's the not as good thrower compared to Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to put him in to throw the ball because Emory Jones is not as good.
Which is actually better.
And my opinion is I think that Alabama can easily go up 21-0.
Right. So, all right. There we go.
Like how you said, not as good thrower. Like Richardson's not better at every facet of the football.
He's good at back.
My only thought process, because we've now been on Florida for this is the 3rd straight week, is for some reason, but for Richardson not to be playing, do you think Mullen just holding him for Bama? You didn't want to throw him out there against FAU and USF, and he's saving him for Bama? I don't because it just doesn't make sense.
He played 8 snaps, had 3 touchdowns, 200.
I mean, maybe that's a good point. They're playing Bama week 3. They don't want to show too much tape on Richardson, but I mean, pretty much throw it out the window and doing backflips and running 85-yard touchdowns on one play.
Yeah, Alabama's practice team's got players like Richardson up and down. I don't think lack of tape's going to hurt Nick Saban preparing for him.
I don't know.
So that's
trying to say Mullen's job at this point.
That's 59.5, right, Sean? That's a
that game's 3:30.
3:30, but it's a 59.5.
Yeah, 59.5 and -110.
All right. Next up, a winner last week, getting in the win column, Money Mike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys want to talk about trap games? This one first.
Yeah, the last time you started with that anecdote of this pick sucks or this is a trap game, it didn't go well.
What if I told you can get the 15th team in the country against an unranked team at +3?
I'll tell you what's the trap. I'll tell you the trap.
Virginia Tech +3 against West Virginia this weekend. It's a must bet. Virginia Tech is the 15th best team in the country. They beat UNC week 1. West Virginia lost to Maryland already. It's going to be a defensive battle, and there'll probably be a lot of turnovers, but as long as Virginia Tech doesn't turn the ball over, we'll be fine.
I like the game as well.
At West Virginia?
Sprinkle?
Sprinkle
some money line on that thing too, yo. Get you some.
At West Virginia?
Yeah, it's at West Virginia. But
so the thing is, with all 3 picks that have been talked about right now, I've already bet all 3 individually. So
it's
I love all
chalk.
3
This
picks.
week is chalk. We need a big picture on the front of the thumbnail should just be, it should say chalk. This whole week is chalk, dude. I'm telling you.
Okay. So I didn't even know about this game really. Virginia Tech +3. Who did they play so far? Do we know? They played 2 games.
North Carolina week 1. They
Carolina
beat Hal.
some shitty team.
All right. So I do like the 3 so far. So Joey Two-Top, what is your week 3 pick?
I've decided I want you to go. I want your pick. Ryan, what's your week 3 pick?
I mean, I'm running the show.
No, well now I am.
Well, I'm 2-0, so I think I can figure out.
Week 3 pick.
Why? Because you think I might have your pick? I don't think I do.
Maybe.
All right, my week 3 pick: Virginia +8.5 at UNC, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. It opened at 10, moved to 9. Now it's at 8.5. I watched UNC's game last week, and the score really doesn't reflect how that game went. The O-line is suspect. And Sam Howell doesn't have the weapons he once had. He doesn't have Javonte Williams. He doesn't have Michael Carter. He doesn't have De'Ami Brown. And when I was watching the game, they were in a lot of 3rd and longs, and they went on it for multiple times on 4th down, 4th and 6, 4th and 8. If you're getting the 4th and 8 and 4th and 6, and you're having to go for it against Georgia State, obviously you're not doing something right offensively. And then I have here that UNC. I mean, we know them as a basketball school. they're not a football school. And so I don't think it's that tough an environment to play in. It might be rocking, but I don't think so as much as it would be like a Virginia Tech or a Clemson or like an Alabama against a good team. So I don't think it's going to be a tough environment. And then Virginia is 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 games. They're 2-0 this year. They looked good against Illinois last week. They were 10.5-point favorites last week against Illinois. They ended up winning that game 42-14, covered easily. They're 4-0 in their last 4 games against UNC. And I just think 8.5 points is too much for a close game. I think it might come down to a field goal. I would say sprinkle, but I think Virginia's like 0-6 on the last road games and like ranked. I don't know, something like. So I wouldn't sprinkle the money line personally, but I think 8.5 is way too much. I would take it at 7 or more too. So Virginia plus 8.5.
It's not a game I really looked at, but I mean, you sold me on it. I can't really argue on it.
Yeah, the only difference between Virginia and Virginia Tech's very good defensively. Virginia's good offensively, not as good defensively. So I don't know if UNC loses the game, but it can definitely come down to it'll probably come down to whoever has the ball last or whoever has.
Virginia also have a pretty good quarterback.
They have a good offense.
They haven't had a good offense.
Yeah, they have a good offense, not as good as Virginia Tech's defense is really good. That's the reason they beat North Carolina. They have a really good defense.
All right. So there we go. There's our 4 picks.
We love recycling teams.
I like to do it, but I see them play.
Yeah, I get that.
And instead of scoreboard watching, I see UNC won 59-7. And so when I watch the game, they're 4th and 6. 4th and 8, converting 4th down. It's like, why are you even getting to that point? You shouldn't be getting to that point at Georgia State.
All right, that's my 5-unit player of the week.
Okay. Well, I won't have to apologize to the camera because I didn't give you false information.
Fair.
All right, Joey, bring us home. Parlay Pals. This is going to break in the $665, whatever it's going to be. What is your week 3 pick?
I have so many games in my head, dude. I have so many games. The one I love the most.
Well, what is this?
I know, but there's one I really like. There's one I really
Joey's
like.
gambling show.
And Chris keeps trying to talk me out of it. I wouldn't say talk me out of it, but he's kind of trying to. 12 o'clock, Big Ten. Sean, sound familiar? 12 p.m. Michigan State's right now at this moment getting 7 from Miami, a whole touchdown. So it was 6.5, moved to 7. Don't know why I moved to 7, but it's probably going to move back the other way. Miami stinks. Derek King stinks. All he does is throw the football, huh?
How old is he?
Derek King? He's like 45. he's like a triple redshirt graduate senior. He stinks, dude. I mean, they barely beat App State. They almost lost that football game. They were given 8.5. They did not cover. They only won by 5 or 6. I think it was 5. I don't know. But Michigan State's played well. They're 2-0. They haven't played great football teams, but they've won handily in both of them. 42-17, something like that. 42-12. I don't know. They were blowouts. So.
I feel like Miami might not get up for a 12 p.m.
But you're going into Miami, though. That's the only thing. I like BYU and stuff just because of where you're playing. This is an away game, but I still like it for Michigan
So this is something I do want to say is that I'm looking at our card for this week. Cincy at Indiana. Virginia Tech at West Virginia. Michigan State at Miami. Virginia at UNC. We got all road games besides the one over. Which I guess you could kind of that's kind of a good thing maybe because we get boosted points because they're on the road and we know that they're the better team. So maybe it's we get more of a cushion just for being on the road. And these are 12 o'clock kicks. I think only the real environment trouble we might have is the UNC 7:30 game, but it's not national TV. It's it's on ACC Network.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy.
Yeah, people don't show up to Miami to see football anymore either. I mean, because they haven't been good. God knows how long.
And they don't have a stadium on campus.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's tough to get to.
Yeah.
All right, so there it is. There's the card. I'll flash it at the end. But if you're listening, Cincinnati -4 at Indiana, Bama at Florida. Why you gotta say it when I run it back?
Oh wait. Sprinkle Michigan State, boys. Don't forget it. Michigan State might win this one.
Bama at Florida, over 59.5. Virginia Tech +3 at West Virginia. Michigan State +7 at Miami. And Virginia +8.5 at UNC. No one took the Penn State game this week. The big game of the week.
It's a scary game.
It was 6 points?
Yeah. I don't. If anything, I'd bet Auburn. Maybe the under. I don't know. I think I'm staying away from it.
Can we talk about BYU getting points?
Yeah, I like that too. That was on the list.
I'm not going back to BYU.
They're getting points at home against Arizona State.
They also kick off. There's a game this week that kicks off at 1 a.m.
Oh my
Hawaii.
God.
Probably Hawaii.
They're playing.
Let's take the over, baby. Take the over.
I thought about it,
Hawaii
just to mess around.
Oklahoma against those dummies in Nebraska.
I know, 22.
Only give it 22.
Yeah, but Oklahoma doesn't look that great. I mean, they just beat, whatchamacallit, 66-0. But they played.
Spencer Rattler can throw 6 interceptions and I'll still think he's the best quarterback.
I know, dude, but they don't look that good. They didn't play that well week 1.
One pick I was looking at before we got out of here was Clemson minus 29. It's open at minus 28.5. They're at home. I feel like the quarterback's got to get going. It's like kind of like the USC situation.
What's his name?
I have here Clemson quarterback. I'm not attempting to say his name. Has been playing with a tight butthole. He can finally let it loose at home against a bad Georgia
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Uwe Gulele, right?
I thought you said like ukulele.
No, it's not you because it's Uwe Gulele. It's like Uwe Gulele, something like that.
All right. Well, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Thank you for coming back to Parlay Pals. Follow us at Twitter, Parlay_Pals. You can hit us up on YouTube, Parlay Pals, or check out Let's Party Pod as well on their main channel. Scroll to the bottom, we'll be there. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning back in, and let's win some money.
Michigan State's BYU's playing.
Parlay Pals. Parlay Pals.